Greetings everyone, Mercenary Legend here. This is a little bit of a disclaimer before getting into the video. This video is riddled with ADHD attitude. It is hyperactive as all hell. I did not write a script for this. I just chose a list of guns that I wanted to talk about from the series, and I went ahead and talked about them. I didn't hold back, and in hindsight, maybe I should have, but I wanted to make this. Maybe I'll redo it at some point. But yeah, this is a very hyper video. If you can't handle that, then I would suggest going to another video, clicking off. If you don't mind that, stay around. Maybe you might find something that you like in this video. That being the case, I hope you enjoy, and on to the video. Also, some of the guns that I showcase are probably going to be in either evolved forms or later games. I would have to play through basically all of these games in order to get the first evolutions of these guns, and that is just a lot to do, honestly, for 2 and 3 in particular, and Deadlocked. So that's going to be the case for that. Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time is actually not my footage. I'll link that in the description below. And I thank that guy for doing that, because that gives me the ability to have that captured footage, because I can't bypass the HDCP function of the PS3 so easily. So, thank you for that. And now, on to the rest of the video. Greetings everybody, Mercenary Legend here. How's it going? It's been a while since we've had a face-to-face here. Well, it's been a while since my next Kingdom Hearts video is out, and I just decided, why not just put in a little bit of filler? A filler video for the time being. I did this a while back, and I'll do it again. So I wanted to do this video because I think this is an interesting video. It's an opinionated piece. I like opinions. I'm just going to do this to get it over with. So, okay, today we're doing Ratchet and Clank weapons. What I think of each of them, how I like their effects, how I like their damage, how I just like them. That's what we're doing. How do I just like Ratchet and Clank weapons so much? So, we're just going to get started with a couple that I like. It's not a cohesive list. It's not a 10-to-1 list. Hell, it's not even like one game. It's a list of guns from all the games that I played that I like the most out of the arsenal. So we're just going to start with the first game. We're going to start with the Visibomb gun. Now this gun is interesting to me. It's like if you took an RC vehicle, put a little camera on top of it, and then just kamikaze it straight into someone's face. You know, I love this thing. It's so ridiculous. It's so over the top. It's so futuristic, and it's so Ratchet and Clank. You know, that is quintessential Ratchet and Clankness right there. Except for one other weapon, which we will actually be getting to later. But I love the look of this thing. I love the little flippy part that has like the screen on it that you view through. I want to know how you control it though. How do you control the rocket once it's already launched? Do you use the little side thing, like a joystick or something? Is there a little D-pad there by the screen that you just go like, alright, boom, there we go. Like, how does that work? How does the actual controlling of it work? Next one is also from the first game, the Pyrociter. Now this one I like purely for its looks. It's not the greatest damage dealing gun, especially because you don't really get to strafe until like midway through the game, so it's not the best gun. Okay, there's other good guns in this game, but Pyrociter is awesome because it looks like a real life flamethrower, and that's what I like about it. It's realistic looking enough, but keeps a little bit of the fantasy in there, to that way it's like not bumping up the age rating to like M or something like that, you know, some crazy shit like that. But it also shows a progression in Ratchet and Clank. You know, it's your journey starts off with these weapons, and they're all sort of, you know, not futuristic to the max, but just futuristic enough. It's very nice looking to look at, you know, and you could even look at a couple of them and be like, oh wow, this is a real thing, totally. Pyrociter is exactly that. It is a real thing. I think the only thing not real is the golden version, which, why would you play it in gold? And how does it shoot green flames that go further? But aside from that, Pyrociter is one of my favorites from the first game, just not to use. Third item on my list is actually something very similar to Pyrociter, the lava gun. I love this one. This one is just, it's so crazy to come up with the idea for. It's like, what if we just had a gun that shoots a centimeter string of lava at the opponents, and then someone's like, wouldn't that be hard to control? And then they're like, well, add a strafe option just for this gun. I mean, you could use it for other things. Just for this gun, we'll add a strafe option. And then someone in the room was like, okay. And they did it. And it works out fine. This gun is awesome. You can also not strafe with it and spin around in circles. And any enemies in that area just get like vaporized. It's not the strongest gun. There's guns that are stronger. There's guns that are weaker. It's just kind of a mid-range gun. It does the job well enough. And it's not something that you would rely on in a pinch, but it does do that kind of like chip damage, and like the flames stay there, so whenever you hit an enemy, they go like, oh, oh. You don't have to waste bullets. Plus, there's ways to use it without actually using up all your ammo, you know? And in the third game, Lava Gun was introduced in the second game, and it turns into the Magma Gun, or the Magma Shot, or Meteorite Gun, I think it is, Meteorite Gun. And it just shoots like these balls, like meteorites, basically, flaming balls at the target. But in the third game, it turns into a liquid nitrogen gun, you know, and it becomes all this like pink gun, and it's able to freeze enemies. And I think it's a really neat idea, going from lava to liquid nitrogen. You couldn't get further apart. All right, next one is the Bouncer. Now this one I like mostly because of how it works and how powerful it is. This one is a really powerful gun in the second game, and also the third game. It shows up in the third game too. Not till really late though, but it shows up. And this gun right here, I'm actually going to be putting up some gameplay of how these guns work, and maybe this corner. I don't know, I haven't chosen a corner yet, but this gun is just so weird. It's so out there. You know, it shoots like this big mine, and you think that's just going to hit an enemy and explode. And it does, but it explodes into smaller little mines. It's insane, because this gun just explodes, and all these little mines can also do damage. It can also home in on enemies, which means the damage can just increase from there. This gun is fucking destructive, and I love it to hell. But if there's one issue I have with it, it's that its ammo count's really low, which that's to be expected. It's a powerful gun. It's a late game gun, so of course it's going to be powerful. Ammo's going to be pretty low too. That is until you get the Ultra version of it in the second game, which I think can hold 50 shots. And if 50 shots isn't enough to take something out, you're just screwed. So that's something to look at. In the third game, you know, you get version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you do New Game Plus, you get 6, 7, 8. And once you get to V5, that's really all you need to do. But once you go up to V8 in that game, if something can't die from a V8 gun, besides the Shock Blaster, which I was going to put on here, but it just doesn't do enough damage to really warrant being put on here, even in its Omega form, which really sucks because I love the look of the Shock Cannon so much. It's a fucking amazing gun. But anyway, drifting off here, the Bouncer in its V8 form in Ratchet 3, if nothing dies from that, you're just screwed. Again, you're just screwed. Alright? Actually, moving on to Ratchet 3, Plasma Whip. Now this is a great weapon in concept, because it's your wrench, but longer, and also a little bit more damage. After a certain point, it just doesn't do as much damage though, because wrench damage in 2 and 3, I think, are based off your maximum health. So after a while, your wrench will actually do more damage than the plasma whip. But this is a fine weapon because it's, first off, cheap. Really cheap. I think it's only 7,500 bolts, which is... That's so cheap! That's so cheap! That's like a candy bar compared to some of the guns you get in the game. Come on, dude. Damn. Its power isn't that great, though. That's one thing I will say. Like, even starting off, some of the other guns are better than it. But it's... For not great power, it makes up for being a really cool idea for a weapon. And that cool idea factor just... It goes a step up beyond, and I love the weapon for that alone, really. It looks cool, it sounds cool, it can actually screw a lot of things up if you know how to use it correctly. And the max version of it, the Quantum Whip, you put Quantum in anything, it makes it sound 100% better. So, frankly, this one's not the case for that, because it only has like a power of 500 or so. But that's still better than the shot cannon, which is 100. So, yeah, I think it balances out. So, Quantum Whip, you're pretty damn good. The arena battle, however, where you have to take out a couple enemies with the Quantum Whip, I wish you would not do that. Please, that one sucks, especially New Game Plus, before you get the V8 version. Oh well. Still a cool weapon. Next one is the Flux Rifle from the third game, which might be the most powerful sniper rifle in Ratchet. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me. But it just feels so powerful, right? Even when you first get it, which is, I think on DAX is when you can first afford it. But you get the gun, look through the scopes, and you just shoot something, and it evaporates. It just evaporates. Like, this thing is amazing. I think when it hits max level, its power is 8,600, which is quite a lot, actually. This thing is a beast. And then when it becomes the, it's splitter rifle at first, and then it becomes the Flux Rifle, which Flux is another word where if you just add it to anything, it makes it sound 100% better. And in this case, it actually is better, because it not only does it just tear things apart when it goes through and just goes like... But it also has like kind of an aura around it, around each bullet. So even if you miss an enemy, which whenever I do a new playthrough of Ratchet 3 and I get this rifle, I always miss enemies with it because I'm so used to that aura. And I don't know, man. I'm just not that good with it. But when it becomes the Flux Rifle, I can screw things over so hard with it in that game. God, I love this fucker. But yeah, love it to death. I think it's the most powerful weapon in the Ratchet series, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks pretty cool. It looks really cool. The color scheme's alright. It kind of matches the rest of the game, especially the last area. Very powerful, very cool. And it comes in somewhat early. It comes in early enough to be useful throughout the rest of the game, pretty much. Which is something I can commend. You know, not a lot of guns in Ratchet and Clank get that sort of moniker. Next is the Disc Blade gun from 3. So this is the quintessential shuriken launcher that Ratchet and Clank just seems to have after the third game, which I'm not complaining about. These things are awesome. They bounce off the walls and they go back into enemies and they shred them apart. It's fun. It's like watching an anthill get hit by a lawnmower, except in this case, it's not screwing up your equipment. It's just evaporating your blades or vaporizing them. I don't really know what happens to the blades afterwards. They don't really say. But I don't really care, personally, because it may not be the most powerful gun, but when it racks up that damage, it might as well become the most powerful gun. Because this thing has like a 5,200 power level or 5,000 power level at level 5. And then at V8, it has, I think, somewhere around 8,800, somewhere like that. So this thing becomes a pretty big force to be reckoned with. I think it just looks cool in general. I think all the guns in 3 look amazing, by the way. I think out of all the guns in every arsenal in every game, I'd have to go, out of the ones I played anyways, 3, no, at the bottom. 2, Crack in Time, 2, 2016, 3, 1. I like 1's guns just a little bit more, but 3 might edge it out just because of how many it has. So that's kind of how my list is there. Now we're moving on to A Crack in Time with the Constructo Weapons. Now this includes all of them. The pistol, the shotgun, the rifle, I think it is. It's been a while since I played that game. But I really like it, mostly because they're customizable. I love customizing weapons. Customizing for the guns. This is gun expert.
Looks like our newest buddy.
Change the way it looks. Just like I spent around 7 hours in one of the areas just grinding because I'm just like trying to figure out what the best loadout or what the best style for each Constructo gun is for me to play with. And I was in this one specific, like, I think it's a ship. Like, you go to a ship with whatever his name is, Lombax guy. But you go there and you just screw things up in that ship. You're trying to find Clank, you know. And I was there just grinding for like 7 hours just because I love the Constructo weapons. I was having a great time putting them together and just testing them out, seeing how they worked. Man, I was having a blast, no pun intended. After that is the Groovatron, which this is quintessential Ratchet and Clank. Like, you think Ratchet and Clank, you think to the Groovatron, or the Groovatron glove, because it is just such a strange weapon. It is one of those things that you just look at and you're like, what the hell are they going for? Yeah, it just plays a disco song. You throw it, it goes up into the air, sparkles, plays a disco song. I think enemies even go like that, or there's some enemies that go like that, you know, like typical disco dance sort of thing. This gun it also explodes like the disco ball, so whenever it's done, it just, and it's capable of doing so much damage just because, excluding the glove on its own, you can pull out another gun while they're dancing and just like pot shot a couple of enemies and then let the glove take them out, or you can just kill the enemies off with like a Rhino or something, which I will be getting to. But yeah, the Groovatron glove it's such a weird weapon. It's such a powerful weapon too. It's oddly powerful, but it's a weird weapon, powerful weapon. It's a fun weapon, and I just wish it had more ammo. I think it only has like 8 in A Crack in Time, and 2016. So I just wish it had more ammo. That's all. But otherwise, I like it. Next on the list is the Tesla spikes from A Crack in Time. I love these things. You have a glove, have a spike, throw it into the ground, it does nothing. It does jack shit. So you're like, well, this was useless. You throw another one, and then they connect to each other electrically. Now that is awesome. That is cool. I love that as a feature. It may not be the most useful, it may not be the most powerful, but it is certainly the most fun to just fuck around with. I love it. It is such a strange weapon, but it's not over encumbering, you know, it's not hard to get to know at all. It's just kind of a fun weapon that you get to use. I don't know when it comes up in the game, so I don't know if it comes in a little too late to be useful, but I do find it to be a very interesting weapon just because of how it works on its own. And I remember having fun with it for a while. There's the Valkyrie place. I don't remember its name because I think it's been like since 2014 or something like that since I played Crack in Time. It's been ages. But yeah, you go there, throw Tesla spikes around, then you just electrocute enemies, then you pull out the Constructo shotgun, go it's just fucking awesome to be able to do that. And I like stunning enemies in Ratchet and Clank because then you can stun an enemy, you need a gun that you need to level up or something, just stun an enemy, pull out a gun, fire. That's all you need to do. Sorry if this video is like really ADHD written. It's just I didn't write a script. I don't care about a script for this particular thing. I just want to blather, right? So now we're jumping into the 2016, and we're gonna start this one off with the Pixelizer. So I think the Pixelizer has shown up in another game, but this is one that I think is just really unique. It does as it says, turns the enemy into like a 2D pixel variation of themselves. Not too deep, not too complicated. It's not the most amazing gun. I honestly think that the Groovatron gun is more amazing on a creativity scale than the Pixelizer. And it's also not a powerful gun, but it does stun enemies, and as I said, I like guns that can stun. So that's a cool little thing you could do. This is another one, I don't know if it comes in a little too late to be useful. It's been a while since I played the 2016 version because I platinumed that, which funnily enough, I platinumed A Crack in Time as my first platinum trophy. Second platinum trophy, Ratchet Clank 2016. It's just like, okay, easy games platinum, I guess. And after that is the Proto Class, which is one of the most weird guns, and I think you actually start off with it too. You shoot like this ball, and it just drops on the ground, floats up, and it just releases pulses of electricity on the ground. And whenever that happens, like any enemy that gets caught up in it, not too bad, does damage, stuff like that. And I like this one in particular because I think this one could be in pretty much every Ratchet and Clank game, but it's also just a really strange weapon on its own. It's almost like you're just doing a small little earthquake in a confined area, and I can accept it for what it is. It's a very niche weapon, I guess you could say, and it's relatively powerful too. I didn't put any deadlocked weapons here. I played deadlocked. I didn't put any deadlocked weapons here. Shit. Well, deadlocked isn't really, full of weapons. In fact, if I just look it up right now, so deadlocked guns real fast. Dual Vipers, I like dual guns. I like the speed of them. I like putting some of the mods on them, like Acid Mod, Freeze Mod. Those are nice to put on. Scorpion Flail, I like that for the plasma, because like the plasma whip, but this one actually does a lot of damage. Let's see, Hollow Shield Launcher, I like that one too, because it's just a Hollow Shield glove, but it launches it a little bit further, and it's also, I think it might be one of the more powerful Hollow Shield iterations, which is funny, considering that it's deadlocked, and deadlocked's not really one of the most known games. And I guess the Arbiter, since I haven't put a rocket launcher on here, which might sound like blasphemy, but at the same time, rocket launchers do kind of get a lot of praise in these games anyways, so we'll just put the Arbiter on there for the time being. And now, the piece de resistance, Rhino, all of the ones that I've ever met. Rhino 1, I like the look of. It's just a big fuck off missile launcher. I like the front, how it has the 9 cylinders. You press the button and rockets just launch everywhere. Like, who gives a fuck about locking on to stuff? This thing is built to screw things up. It is not playing around. You brought this sucker to the playground and you're killing all those little bastards who mess with you. That's the Rhino 1. Rhino 2 is basically just the Rhino 1, but plasma shock instead of missiles. Which I think that one might be my least favorite Rhino, believe it or not, even though plasma missiles are amazing in concept. But yeah, my least favorite one, it only has 100 shots, which the Rhino 1 had 50, but at least you can excuse that for being the first game. Doesn't upgrade either, so it's just base Rhino 2. The Rhino, or the Rhino 3, might be one of my favorites. It's Oh man, I don't even remember how it works. I think it shoots missiles, and then everything that the missiles hit, it goes through them, and it just atomizes whoever it hits. So it's like, yeah, this thing is so powerful that it doesn't just blow up on enemies; it atomizes them. Like, come on, that is just epic. Then it turns into the Rhinocerator, which shoots all the missiles up, and it just creates a quasar. Like, come on, man, a quasar? You're just going overboard now, Insomniac. The Harbinger from Deadlocked. The Harbinger is basically the Rhino of that game. And this one's awesome. Right? I love the concept of this one. It's like, you know in Call of Duty Ghosts how there's that satellite thing that drops one of those missiles down and when it hits the ground it just goes like... Well, this is the Harbinger. But instead of just being one missile in one spot, you have like 10 of them hitting down at like an angle sort of thing. So it's like the satellite's over here, you're over here. It's like it constantly just shoots down at that angle. But yeah, it's like 10, 12 shots. Thing fucks anything up, by the way. Anything that's on the ground, anything that's in the air, anything that's underground, dead. Dead and dead. This thing screws up everything it touches or even thinks about touching. So yeah, I love the Harbinger. Goes up to level 99 like all the other weapons in that game do. Does not need to do that. The Harbinger is fine at level 1, honestly. Skipping Rhino 4 because I haven't played Tools of Destruction. Rhino 5 is probably my favorite look of the Rhino, but not my favorite Rhino. Interesting fact that I just learned today, thanks to a friend. It plays the 1812 Overture. It plays the first 5 seconds, and then it loops. And every time it shoots the rocket, that's when it loops. Like the tune of the bullets when they come out of the barrel. Apparently that is actually the 1812 Overture. Pretty cool. Never heard it myself. Pretty cool. And this gun, hard to use, I would say, because it doesn't really lock on to anything. It just sort of fires bullets in a direction. Anything like in a funnel shape around the front of the Rhino is basically just dead. So it's not the most easy to use Rhino, I would say, but it is the most fun to use. Let's see. It also has 2,500 bullets. Go happy with it. And let's see, I think the last Rhino we've got is 2016, which is the model of the Rhino 4. So I used the Rhino 4. It just shoots. It just shoots. It's like the Rhino 5. Kinda it shoots in a general direction, but it's also kinda like the Rhino 2, how it's plasma missiles. So it's not shooting bullets, it's shooting plasma missiles, and it's just going it is insane. Thing is way too overpowered. It also has 2,500 bullets. But the thing is, this game has cheats. Different cheats from the rest of the Ratchet and Clank games. And you can put infinite ammo as one of those cheats. So instead of 2,500 bullets, this Rhino has infinite bullets. So go happy with that. Honorable mentions. Bomb Glove from Ratchet 1. I like the idea of a glove that can dispense bombs into your palm so you can just throw them whenever you want. That's a really neat idea, and that's also the first weapon of Ratchet and Clank 1 is the Bomb Glove. The blaster from Ratchet and Clank 1, very simple, very just straight shot, pun intended, pistol. You know, very simple design pistol. And the golden version has ricochet bullets, because of course it does. Let's see, what's another honorable mention? Oh yeah, Mini Nuke from Ratchet 2. That thing is basically like a starting out Rhino. You know, you level up the, what's it called before it's the Mini Nuke? I don't know, but you level up to the Mini Nuke, and it is an 8-shot, it is 8 shots. But it's such a powerful 8 shots that it's kind of forgivable. Plus, it's one of the first weapons you get in the game. You start off with it, so it's fine. It's fine. It's not the best, but it's worth an honorable mention. Let's see. Plasma Coil. I didn't choose this one because I think this one is on everybody's list to some degree. And I think the bouncer is not as popular as this one. Basically, you have a gun, you shoot a plasma ball, anything that plasma ball goes past, it just zaps with lightning. Fun gun, very powerful. However, I think it's on everybody's list, like I said. So I decided to omit it from this one because it's my list, and if you have a problem with that, let's see, we got Ratchet 3 next, and I want to put Shot Cannon as an honorable mention. I did say I love that gun. It's just not powerful, but it is a very cool gun. It's just, it's a cannon, but it's like it kind of has a, what do you call it, buckshot sort of thing. It's got a buckshot sword style, so it goes like, well, it's like plasma bullets, Everything in Ratchet and Clank has to be plasma something, after the first game at least. So yeah, it's plasma bullets. You hold down the trigger, you release it, it's a death cannon. Literally a death cannon. And you can sweep that son of a bitch all around the arena. And that does a lot of damage. But it uses up 10 bullets every time you do it. So it's not like something you can easily spam. Agents of Doom. Doom or Dread. I think it's Dread when it's fully evolved. But Agents of Dread are very cool because you kind of like have them floating next to you, but they're also on the ground. So they shoot at things, and then whenever they're out of bullets, they run towards the enemy and nuke. They literally nuke into a mushroom cloud. I think that's pretty cool. Also, I think that might be the second most powerful gun in Ratchet 3, besides the Mega Turret Glove, which, guess what it does? Fire it onto the ground, opens up a turret, fires rockets at the enemy. Homing rockets too, might I add. No honorable mentions for Deadlocked, because I pretty much covered every gun I liked in Deadlocked. Crack in Time, the Negotiator, I think that's what it's called. I think the Negotiator is the rocket launcher for that one. I like it, but I think rocket launchers get their love anyways, so that's why I omitted basically every single one of them from this list, because I think the rocket launchers are on everybody's favorite, just like the plasma coil is. And then the 2016 version, which I don't have honorable mentions for. I think I covered all the guns I like in that game. So yeah, that's just this little quick, it's 33 minutes long. This is a filler video between the Kingdom Hearts videos I'm doing. And I'm going to do more videos like these. A little less ADHD riddled, by the way. It's just that I wanted to talk about this one. And when I talk about stuff that I really like, I can't help but keep going and going and going and not stopping. It's a habit of mine I need to break. But yeah, that's me for the day. And do not buy these winter, December, seasonal Mountain Dew. I don't remember what it's called. It's like ginger something. I don't know. Sucks. Absolutely sucks. This, I'm only drinking with alcohol. Only mix it with alcohol. And with that, I bid you adieu. I'm going to go drink the rest of this. I'm going to go pour another bottle of it when I'm done with that. I'm going to have me a fun night. So, goodbye. I hope you like this. Leave a comment. Let me see some of your favorite guns. Maybe you like one that I'm not particularly fond of. Maybe you like the Mind Glove from Kingdom Hearts 1? I almost said that. Ratchet and Clank 1. Maybe you like the Mind Glove from Ratchet and Clank 1. And if you do, hey, not a bad weapon. Not bad at all. It's also in Ratchet and Clank 3 multiplayer, by the way, so it obviously was at least good enough to bring back for a second time.